You know, I woke up yesterday. It is Friday, June 14th, I think. I think it's the 14th. Anyways, I worked yesterday. I've been stripping. Your girl been stripping. Okay? So anyways, before I go into work yesterday, I decided to call and pay a bunch of bills at once. I made my truck payment, I did my insurance, I paid my storage facility, and I'm going to have to pay my phone bill today. But, so I'm high on life. I go into work. I had paid all of my bills. I was ecstatic to have a damn job where I could actually put some money back and, like, survive, eat, be able to eat. You know, that's, yeah. So I was just grateful. So I get into work, and the entire day was so freaking slow. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was the only girl that even sold anything yesterday. That's how slow it was. I mean, it was the polar opposite of what I had experienced earlier in the week. But God, being the loving man He is, sent me an angel. I was the only girl that made money. I walked out with like $400. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of the money that I'm making right now is new girl money. It's going to be temporary. This is not a full-time, like, it's not like I can go into work every day and expect to actually make money like I'm making. I think that it is a lot of new girl money, and it will fade off. It will absolutely fade off. It always does. Then I find out that this place that I'm working for has only been open for 2 months. 2 months. So that's why they're doing so fucking good. Yeah. You know, in my experience, what I've seen in recent years, these clubs that are spending millions to build these operations from the ground up, they hire girls, they hire staff. They do well for a little while, usually around a year and a half. 18 months is when you start to see it fall off. You know, and if you have shady business practices, it's going to get around in the community. And guys don't like that shit. They come in there for attention. They don't come in there to be fucking robbed. And it's very common for that to happen nowadays. And I'm not talking about like a stripper takes the man's wallet out of his pocket. What I'm talking about is that she makes all of these promises. He drops $1,000 and then he gets back there with her, and she does not live up to what he thought he was getting. I mean, and you know, is it a bold-faced lie to insinuate that you will get something extra in a private room that you can't get standing in the middle of the club? Is that wrong? Absolutely. So wrong to insinuate that, oh, if he gets a private room, we can spend more time together. Like, we can get closer. Like, that's just shady to me to insinuate that you're going to get something that you're not. And guys don't like that shit. Another thing that they don't like is all of these fucking surcharges. When I make $1,500 and I only get to walk away with $400, and the club keeps the damn $1,100, that is so fucked up. And when guys hear, I've done the math. That's what the cut is. If you do a hot tub for an hour, it is $1,000. However, there's going to be a 20% surcharge that the club gets, and then they're going to ask for hundreds of dollars in a tip. I had this happen day before yesterday. And I mean, I was genuinely so fucking shocked. I couldn't believe it. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. How do I make $1,500 and walk away with $400? That's the cut. That's what it is. These places, and listen to this. All right, so they're making $1 million a year off of me. Just me. At least. You know, like, between house fee, tip out, and everything else, okay? It's $100,000 a year if I do 8 hot tubs a month, which is not impossible. That is so doable. That's $100,000 a year. And you know what I make? Less than 40. I'll make less than $40,000, and the club will make 100. And this is how they keep you fucking poor, and this is how they keep you fucking coming back, thinking that you're gonna make a lot of money one day. It's not possible. It's not possible nowadays. They've aligned things to where they keep you poor. They want you poor so that you're stuck in that club for 30 years running in fucking circles like I have been. Living out of a car. I've made millions of dollars in my life, and I'm living out of a car. And this is what they want. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, I'm not going to work today because I'm tired. And last night, I drove an hour just to find somewhere that was 20 degrees cooler because it's been so hot. I can't sleep. I got 2 hours last night. 2 hours. And the night before that, I got 3, 4. Like, I'm barely fucking surviving. So I'm on the way to go see if I can get my AC fixed today, since I made a little bit of extra money yesterday and I paid my bills earlier in the week, because I am literally about to die. My face feels like a cherry tomato, like it's going to pop off my head. I am extremely hot. Extremely. So it says that it is 69 outside right now. And as you can see, it's like overcast. The sun hasn't come out yet. It is every bit of 80 degrees in this car right now. It's a black truck with blacked out windows. And so it draws heat. I mean, when I bought the damn thing, my plan was to not live out of it. Am I grateful for it now? Absolutely. But it was not my plan to live out of this thing when I bought it. So I'm going through it with the heat right now. Like, I'm dying from heat. Yeah, it's been, imagine it being so muggy and hot like that, and you're shoved in your car like a damn sardine. You know, and here's another thing, for safety reasons, I can't just sit around with my windows down, y'all. That is asking to be robbed. That is asking to be mugged, kidnapped, whatever. You're asking for it. In some of the areas that I've been in, you can't sit with your windows down. I mean, you can, but you're asking for it. I'm just at a point in my life where I don't put myself in dumbass situations. Don't put yourself in a bad situation and bad shit won't happen. It's as simple as that. I slept in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. I drove to Eflin, North Carolina from Raleigh because it said on the weather app that Eflin was like, it said, so it was last night at 11 p.m. it was 78 degrees where I was in Raleigh. So I found somewhere called Eflin, North Carolina. They said that Google said that it was cool out there, that it was 69 degrees in Eflin. So I drove an hour just to try to get 2 hours of sleep. So I've got to get my AC fixed today. Here's the thing though. I might be wasting my time because I've texted the guy several times saying, hey, how much a roundabout do you think it's going to run me? The part itself, it's more than likely the AC compressor. That part is going to run you $1,000 to $1,300 just for the part. That's not including labor. The guy said that he could probably get me a pre-owned AC compressor, which will cut the cost significantly because it's not new, it's used. He has my number. He got my number, and I asked him, I said, hey, when do you want me to come by? Like, I need to get this done. And I haven't heard anything back. Why get my damn number and tell me to contact you for a service, and then I contact you for a service and you're missing? I'm hot. I need you to fix my AC. Please. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to skip over comments, but hey Liz, good morning. Oh my god, that exploded. Did you hear that? Fucking bomb just went off in my hand. So work was fun yesterday. I had a really good time yesterday. At the last minute, God sent me an angel. You know, here's my theory. Here's my theory on how I make decent money, how I'm able to go into these clubs and be able to just reel them in. It's my eyes. I know it without a doubt, because the type of men that spend money on me are typically Middle Eastern, Indian, Hispanic. They are men of, you know, they got what they call that, melanoma, no, not melanoma, melatonin in their skin. People of melatonin skin, you know, and I really think that it has a lot to do with my eyes, like the brightness of my eyes, and just like, you know, being from the mountains of Caucasus. And yesterday, the guy that come in, he got a $500 half hour, so it's a private room, y'all. It is so fucking nice. I love it in these rooms, because there's like they have like your own TV, your own Bluetooth, like sound speakers, Bluetooth. You can play your own music. There's like Netflix. We literally were watching YouTube videos, sitting in there chilling, and it felt like I was in there a lot longer than 30 minutes, but I didn't really care because there was nobody else there anyways. I literally snagged the only fucking man in the club yesterday. And I wholeheartedly believe it's because my eyes, like, they can just see me from across the fucking bar. And yeah, I don't know, I got lucky again. And I think that, like I said, I think that things are going to go well here, that I will be able to rely on this money for a little while, but it's not going to last. I give it a year. Actually, I give it 18 months before it completely falls off and the girls stop coming into work because they're not making any money. So this is what happens. You build this $1 million club. Beautiful, beautiful, okay? Guys start coming in. They get to know policy and procedures of these establishments, most of which have already told me they don't agree with how things, you know, the cost of it. It's part of the business. It's part of the business. I can't control it. I understand, Kevin, that you miss your $25 lap dance, but we're in the middle of a whole new fucking world. It's a whole new world out here, Kevin. You know you have to drop $1,000 just to be graced with the presence. It's crazy. That's not how I feel, by the way. I think that it's highway robbery, and it makes me feel like a dirty human to have to go and essentially play on motherfuckers' heartstrings. Yo, I just realized, sorry. It's grimy to me to play on people's heartstrings like that. All this guy talked about yesterday was a girlfriend. I understand people are lonely. But anyway, so you'll get these guys. They'll come in. They'll learn policy and procedure. You'll have a whole bunch of girls. Things are going great. Everybody's making money. But then, like I said, the guys start to realize how expensive it is. Also, that we don't get to keep, at least, we don't even get to keep half. We get 24%. They figure this out. The community gets to know what type of place it is. And before you know it, guys are not coming in. And in return, women stop coming in because they're not making money, but at the end of the day, they're still having to pay to work. Yeah. If you don't make money, oh well, you better come up out your savings for that damn $50 house fee and the tip out for everybody. $50 here, $50 there. Before you know it, you just spent $300 on tip out for 6 people. And you didn't even make a dime. That's what they expect. Absolutely. So what I'm saying is that it's going to die off. This is a temporary thing. I already see that it is moments of ups and downs, but not only that, I see how impatient the girls are, how they take it personal that there's no customers in there, how they take it personal that maybe a guy got to dance with me and not with her. And you can't do that. You have to understand that these things come and go. And it's going to be great for the next year. But then it's going to be set in like Capitol Cabaret, a very beautiful club, who's ran itself in the ground. So the girls stop coming in because there's no customers. So they're coming in, they're spending what little savings they have just to work. They get pissed. The customers are mad that the business is shady and that the girls don't get to keep their money. Or maybe they're disgruntled about something else. It's not going to be hard for the business to die off. I give it a year. But that's just my prediction. Unfortunately, I'm usually right about these things when it comes to strip club business. You know, I mean, it really is amazing to me how many guys don't realize what a surcharge is. Like, you say that, you'll say, hey, there's a 20% surcharge, and they get their bill, and they're like, well, why is there $200 extra on here? That's the surcharge. The club is going to tax the shit out of you, whether it's the ATM or whether it's getting funny money or whatever. They're going to make their money. You best believe that. They take care of themselves before they take care of the damn girls. So sad. I don't know. I do like everyone that I've met there. I will say that. I will say, when it comes to friendliness and accommodations and how the club behaves towards us, I would say I would give them 5 out of 5 stars as far as how well they take care of us, how the safety part. Like, we're not allowed to go to our cars. You have to get an escort. They'll have to radio some guy down from the tower to walk you to your car. I appreciate that. I don't mind tipping you for that. Like, I always tip anyways because I feel obligated. One thing I'm going to be doing is changing my tipping practices, because I'll be damned if the bouncers are going to walk out with more of my money than me. That guy tipped them $300 the other day, and then they got an additional $100 off of me that was against my will. Okay, can I just put that out there? That was against my will. I shouldn't have been tipping them nothing. My customer had already tipped them $300. But I'm checking out. I give my boss my receipt. She gives me my dance money. And she's like, oh, well, it's going to be $100 for tip out for the guys. I didn't agree with that. I felt like my customer had already given the man damn $300. Plus a 20% surcharge. It's ridiculous. It's literally highway fucking robbery. Keep the poor poor, right? Keep the poor poor. You know, for as long as I've been dancing, I shouldn't be having these problems, to be quite, to be frank. I shouldn't be going through anything that I'm going through currently. But this is why you don't give people your money, even if they're your family. Even if they're your family. I don't care if it's your damn mama. That is the quickest way to be an orphan. Get money involved. Like, you're asking to be an orphan. Handing somebody your damn life savings. People are not to be trusted at all, much less with damn money. And I've learned the hard way. And I'm trying to be responsible with the money that I'm making currently. But my AC being broke, I have to fix it. Like, I'm literally dying out here. You're gonna find me in a ditch somewhere. Like, I'm gonna pass out. I'm not joking. It's gonna be 90-something degrees all next week. And I'm so scared. I mean, I'm gonna be in the club for the better part of the hottest part of the day. So, but it's nighttime, not being able to sleep. It's already too hot this morning for me to sleep. There's no way that I could sleep this morning. It's already in the 70s, which means that it's like 75, 80 in here. It's always about 10 to 15 degrees hotter in here. Sometimes even 20 degrees hotter if it's really hot out there. When it gets up into the upper 80s, it's 100 fucking degrees in here. It's so hot. And I can't sleep if it's above 65. It has to be good and chilly. I want it cold. I need the AC running. I need it cold, okay? That is the only downfall of living like this right now. And of course my fucking AC would broke, because that is literally the story of my life. Like, of course it broke. I need to get it together this morning. I look rough. I'm running around bazirless. I ain't got no bra on. I'm fucking rough. I'm surprised I don't feel worse not getting any sleep like I haven't been. Hey, oh my God, y'all want to hear something crazy? This truck right here, this is my family. My family owns this multi-billion-dollar fucking company, Kirkpatrick Paving and Grading. You want to hear a crazy story? So that my grandmother, Brooke Kirkpatrick, runs that place. My dad, my stepfather who raised me, he's such a piece of shit that he comes from millionaires. And he literally had burnt all of his bridges by the time he met my mother. And yeah, he worked. But, you know, if he wouldn't have burned his, he actually probably could have done better for us. I mean, we were living in poverty. My mother marries a man who comes from money, but due to the fact that he's the black sheep of the family because he likes to do heroin, his family disowns him. So we live in poverty because of that. Now, it's called Kirkpatrick Paving and Grading. That is family. I have not talked to that family since my mother died. So that tells you how good a family we are. I later found out after my mother died that his family didn't like her at all. So my mom and dad both grew up. He grew up with money, but my biological parents both grew up very, very poor. Both of them. So, you know, when I was brought home from the hospital, me and my brothers were put in dresser drawers. Like, my parents didn't even have the money for a bassinet. They put us in a lined dresser drawer. They would line a dresser drawer with blankets and just put the baby in there, and they would use that as a bassinet back in the 70s, 60s, 80s, whatever. And that's how poor we were. You know, we lived in a little 2-bedroom trailer. And when I was in elementary school, we moved into a bigger trailer. It was a 3-bedroom. When I tell you that them damn bedrooms on them things are so small back in the 80s and, you know, like the trailers from the 70s and 80s, those bedrooms were tiny. You could barely fit a damn twin mattress in there. But I grew up in a little 3-bedroom trailer in the middle of the damn woods. And my parents did the best that they could. But, you know, for my stepfather to be from money and have every opportunity to work for the family business and make something of his life, and he just continually fucked it up, it's a damn shame. Oh, and riddle me this. How are we growing up in poverty, but this man has a nice truck every year? A brand new, fancy, nice truck every year, every 2 years. My stepfather would get a nice truck, but we're living in a 40-year-old trailer. But you need to go get that Corvette. He did. He bought a Corvette Christmas of '99. He bought a brand new $50,000. I think it was $60,000. And we were living in a trailer. And this man just goes and buys him a sports car. Like he's not a father of 4 at the time. Oh, you can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. My mom, she passed away in 2007. She had stage 4 cervical cancer. By the time that they caught it, and this is part of the reason that I be telling girls on the internet, you need to make sure to go get your hoo-ha checked. If you don't do nothing else, you need to make sure that you are getting a regular pap smear and blood work done at least once a year. Now, the last time I went, which was a couple of months ago, at Planned Parenthood, she got snappy with me. She said, you don't need to do this. I guess because I'm a Medicaid patient, because I recently got Medicaid. I guess because of that, the doctor comes in. I've never had a doctor to tell me that I don't need to be in a doctor's office. This is how crazy the world has gotten. The doctor said, you don't need this pap smear. And I said, well, you're going to do it anyways because I'm already here, okay? Not only that, I have pre-existing conditions. Not only that, I have a history of cancer in my family. My mother died at 38 from cervical cancer. You don't think that it's fucking important for me to go get that checked on? And you're going to advise for me not to come in but every 5 years? Y'all, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. That's what they told me when I went to go get a pap smear a couple weeks ago. They told me I didn't even need to be there. I said, well, I beg your biggest fucking pardon? What do you mean? My mother died at my age. Yeah. From that. Like, I'm supposed to be here. I need to get this done. It's crazy. People, the whole medical field in general. But she passed away. By the time they found it, it done spread to her lymph nodes. She was able to get chemo radiation to kind of prolong life, prolong suffering, essentially. And, I'm going to be honest, I have a lot of regrets about that time because I was not involved I was not involved. I was out doing whatever, and at this time, my abuser actually was in my life and would prevent me from being able to go where I wanted and doing things that I wanted to do. So, you know, it was a very hard time. But I saw a girl on some page the other day talking about how she has not seen a doctor in 20 years. And she was having all of these health complications, and she felt weak and lethargic and nauseous. And, you know, yeah, it wasn't good. And I was like, girl, you need to go get checked out. I think a lot of us have run around without getting the proper blood work, without getting the proper medical diagnosis and help, because we can't afford it. I mean, it's ridiculous what the healthcare system is here in America. It's absolutely ridiculous to hear that there are elderly people that will, you know, live in pain rather than try to attempt to get help because they live on a, you know, month-to-month income or whatever. Like, I know a lot of men specifically, they won't go to the damn doctor for nothing, and I'm about like that, to be honest. Unless I'm bleeding and I got a finger hanging off, I don't want to go to the doctor either. But one thing that I do is I take care of my female health. Like, that's huge. Pretty much everybody in my family had died by the time I was 25. My grandmothers, you know, everybody's gone. And the majority of the deaths were caused by health issues that stem from obesity, that stem from poor lifestyle choices like smoking. You know, my family was not the healthiest people. They had some of the best hearts and they were some of the best people, but they didn't take care of themselves, and they were from a different generation where people just didn't care. And I think that people did care back then. I just think that people didn't know any better. The first 2 years of my life, it was just me, my mother, and my biological father. And it was really volatile. They fought all the time. They fought so bad, he took the whole door off of a Chevy Camaro when I was a child, when I was like 1. They were fighting in the driveway, and he took the whole my biological father was an alcoholic, which was part of the reason that my mother got a divorce from him and met my stepfather, who would raise me. And they fought bad. There was absolutely drug use going on. It's really amazing to me how two separate people can have two separate views on how they were raised. So for instance, I have a younger brother who was the golden child, you know, and his perception of how we were raised is completely different than my perception of how we were raised. It's crazy how two people can live under the same damn roof, grow up together in the same house, and see how they were raised as completely different. I grew up in a very, very, very abusive household. Very abusive. And when you're teaching your kids through discipline and teaching them to fight, it's not good. What do you think they're going to do when they start school? I don't know what my parents were thinking, turning me into a trained killer by kindergarten, but that's what they absolutely did. They raised me to be me. My first fight, I was still in diapers. I come in the house crying, and my mother said, my stepfather actually said, you go out there and you get that swing back. So I went out there and I pushed the damn little girl into the sand off of the swing. And my parents cheered, yay. When you're teaching a child to behave like that, don't be shocked when they get to middle school and they start busting people's heads open. Yeah. My parents did it to themselves. Okay, number 1. Number 2, I was a child and didn't know any better. I'm not justifying my behavior. But what I am saying is that it's no surprise that by the time I was 18 years old, I was facing 2 counts of attempted murder and looking at a life sentence of 24 years. 16 to 24 was my first plea bargain offer. You know, it's no surprise. You know, when you have, you know, all of this that I'm learning about my childhood and how it's affected my adult life, all of this I've recently learned. I've never sat down and thought, hey, well, maybe, just maybe, growing up in a home where people were beating on each other, drinking alcohol, doing God knows what else. And maybe, just maybe, that had something to do with the psychological issues that I had when I went into school. Because I spent from 12 was the first time, I do believe, that they ripped me out of the home from the abuse. I was put into foster care, group homes, independent living facilities, you name it, I've been there. Juvenile youth development centers, I spent 2 years there. You know, it's no surprise to me, but I've really been taking a hard look at how I was raised and how my brothers were raised, and our perception of how we were raised. You know, I think that my parents could do no wrong in my siblings' eyes. But I was the oldest, so I saw everything. I was there before everybody. I was the trial. I was the guinea pig, you know what I mean? And by the time they got onto my other siblings, things were fine. They were great kids, graduated, went off to college, the military, wherever, you know. They had their whole life planned because they didn't grow up in a home where people were breaking shit and cussing each other out, and, you know, there wasn't domestic, you know what, going on. I'm sure my brother still saw them fight, but it wasn't like I experienced. And to teach your child to defend themselves is one thing. But to teach your child, tell your child that it's okay to defend yourself and don't hold back, and to pretty much fuck them up the best of your ability, to teach a child that is so fucked up. And my parents taught me that. They taught me to fight. They didn't do that with my siblings. I guess they guinea pigged with me and learned the hard way, you know. Losing jobs. My mother would lose jobs because they'd fire her, because she'd get calls from the school so often. When I tell you that they would call my mom, she would come down to the school, she'd beat me right there in front of the teachers, you know. She didn't give a fuck. She hit a teacher one time. I had a teacher that was holding on to me and would not let my wrist go, and my mother popped that bitch. My mother swung on that heifer. She did, in the carpool line. Because I was in trouble. I'd stabbed a little girl in the leg with a pencil. We're talking second, third grade. Second, third grade. As soon as I got in there, I was fucking shit up, okay? So my mom comes to pick me up from school. I done stabbed a little girl in the leg with a pencil. I don't know. Jessica was being a bitch, so I was a bitch back. And my teacher had my wrist, and she's like shaking me around like a rag dog, dragging me around. And my mother is like, what do you need? And my teacher is like, let me talk to you. And my mother's like, I have to go. I have important stuff to do. Right now it's not a good time. The teacher is holding on to my wrist, won't let me go. And my mother popped her. My mom said, let go of my child. And grabbed me and took me and put me in the car. But the teacher wanted to talk to her and tell her what I'd done that day. And this was a daily occurrence. Like, I'm not even fucking exaggerating. I would love to pull these fucking files. Like some old reports from back in the day, my school records, hospital records. That is something that I'm most definitely going to look into one day. I want to see my case file from CPS, from where my parents kept losing custody of me. I want to see that. I want to know what all DSS thought that they knew and how much they actually knew. Because let me tell you something. They don't have the right to just go in your house and steal your child unless they have some kind of probable cause or evidence, you know, supporting their ideas. Now, I'm not saying that they don't and they won't, because CPS is some of the most crooked fucking government officials that we have out here. They're baby kidnappers, you know, and they fuck people's lives up for no reason. But I would really like to see my CPS file from where my parents kept losing custody of me. I would like to see what CPS said. CPS. No, that's a lie. They can do whatever they want. They can come in there and take your damn child, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. And they will steal your kid and essentially black market it. They will. They'll sell your child on the black fucking market. And they'll call it adoption. Oh, God. It's so crooked. But I'm telling you that they wouldn't have took me as many times as they did if there wasn't something going on. And I don't think that I even understood what an abusive household was till I was probably about 15. And I was studying to graduate because I graduated at 16. I was in a long-term juvenile youth development center. The name of it was Samarkand Youth Development Center. These places are horrible. Horrible. I was essayed for 2 years by a camp counselor there while in the state's custody as a juvenile. These places are horrible. They're very stereotypical. What you think is going on in foster homes, group homes, independent, living facilities. These places are horrible. It's so abusive. It's so toxic. There's so many people that have started to speak out about these detention centers for the youth. One person being Paris Hilton. For those that don't know, her parents sent her to the school of Parvo, I think was the name of it, Parva. Anyways, it was a youth development center, and it was a training school for girls. And, they kidnap your kid in the middle of the night. They take it to the middle of the fucking wilderness. And they expect this child to just get better. I mean, it really don't make sense in my mind how you could just do that to somebody. Did it help me spending 2 years there? No. Did it make me worse? Yeah. Yeah. It did. It did. From what I heard, Samarkand Youth Development Center is now shut down. Thank God for that. But, the entire time that I'm in this development center, this training school, my parents think that I'm somewhere safe. And little did they know, one of the government officials, who is a correctionals officer, was abusing me. It's truly unbelievable to think about, but it happened so much back then. It really did. It happened so much. I've had foster parents that took me on, and the foster father was a fucking weirdo. Like, straight stage 5 creeper, okay? But he's a Christian man who wanted to adopt a little 6-year-old girl. Like, what? I'm just saying that, I don't know. Foster families and stuff like that, they creep me out. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying all. I'm saying in my experience, the foster families that I've been with were very toxic. They were abusive. They should not have been adopting children. The homes that I've been to, as far as group homes, those are toxic. One in particular that really stands out to me that I was in Greensboro, North Carolina. And it was a 3-bedroom house, and I had 2 other girls that lived there with me. There were multiple staff members that would oversee our day-to-day life. They would take us to school, they'd pick us up from school. They did all of these tasks for us, like grocery shopping, cooking our meals. There was always someone there who was making sure that all 3 of us girls were taken care of. Now, when I first went into this in particular group home, I was 14. I was just entering into high school. And I'll never forget being picked on because I was white. Not at the school, at the group home. I was bullied by grown-ass fucking women because I was white. And they literally would do things to, like, torture me and hurt me. They would give me these tasks, It's so fucked up, the shit that they did. So fucked up. Once again, another person, multiple people in a position of power that shouldn't be there, overseeing the care of children who have already been through so much. These places are horrible. And DSS, CPS, they're just as bad. It's really a broken system. The whole foster care system is a broken system. It's really sad. And, I'm blessed that I even have the level of awareness to realize that those places could have extremely fucked me up, and they did. They definitely impacted my psychological well-being while there and after. But I'm safe. That's where my parents thought I was safe. So I'm about to pull up at this car shop. This guy told me to be here at like, he said, he knows I'm a stripper, right? He says, if you can get here early one morning, we can fix your AC. He said, and I said, early? Okay, no problem. And he says, you know, maybe like 11 or so, like 11. And I started smiling because I'm a dancer, so he's assuming that I get up late and that I go to bed late. You know what I mean? He's thinking I'm on a nighttime stripping schedule, so he was trying to be accommodating by telling me that I could get there a little later in the morning, like 11 a.m. I bet he's going to be surprised as shit when I roll up at 7 a.m. to get my truck fixed. He's going to be like, what the hell? I said 11, not 6 a.m., Brooke. Well, I tell you, it is so hot. My shirt's soaked. Through and through. My whole middle section is soaked. Oh, something, you know what? When I was at work yesterday, you know, I really don't pay attention to a lot of people, to be honest. I kind of live in my own world. I have main character energy. And, you know, it's not that I mean to be unaware. It's just that I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need to know why you're mad, Kelly. I don't care why Jessica's pissed all the time. Like, it's not worth my time to care about certain things. Specifically, I'm talking about, like, the club and the girls at the club and the employees at the club. I don't really spend a lot of time getting to know people. I go in, I get my job done, and I'm out of there. But I just want to say, something that I've noticed, a common trend nowadays, is how, like, girls walk around like they're mad at the world. They really do. Girls walk around like they're mad at the fucking world. And, it takes more energy to frown than it does smile. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know, carrying around all of that sadness and hurt and pain and whatever you're carrying around, regrets, I don't know. Whatever you're carrying around, I mean, you don't have to. You can just let it go and be a happy person. It's that fucking easy. Now, I understand. Y'all, for those who don't know, I suffer from extreme depression and anxiety, so I'm not saying to just, you know, I'm not saying get over your schizophrenia. I'm saying that it's easier to just smile. It's just easier to smile. You don't have to walk around with a resting bitch face being miserable at the fucking world. It's so easy to be happy. You have to appreciate the small things in life, and it starts with you. It starts with you. You will never be happy until you learn to love yourself. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And how you start loving yourself is just by inner state doing crazy shit. That's what I'm saying. Start respecting yourself. Behave. Act like you love yourself. Take care of yourself. Invest into yourself. Stop doing dumb shit. I literally went on a date with this guy one time, and he freaking drove like 100 miles an hour with me in the passenger seat. When I say that I signed him off because of that. Because not only do you have complete disregard for my fucking life, but you have complete disregard for local law enforcement. You're literally doing 100 on the highway with no care in the world. No world. And y'all, I don't ride with people at all. I'm a control freak. I'm a very good driver. I've been driving longer than most people have been alive. Like, I'm such a good driver. I'm literally, look. I'm in a turn. Like, I don't ride with people at all. And so I put a lot of trust in that. Went on a date with him. I'm like, oh, I'm going to trust him. I'm going to get in the passenger seat. Big mistake. Big mistake. Those little signs, though, like driving really fast with me in the car with complete disregard of my life, that was a red flag. And I had a feeling that he was a piece of shit. And I later learned out he was. He was a horrible fucking human. Horrible. Horrible. But the signs were there. That was one of them. Oh, the other one was, the first time I ever met him, he goes to give me a hug. This is just some random guy that I met at a bar that I was working at the time down in Florida. He goes to give me a hug. And the first thing he does is look down at my gold chain on my necklace and ask me if that was real. The signs were fucking there. The signs were there. You just have to pay attention, you know? People be lying on themselves too, man. They really do. Like, they tell on themselves. That's what I meant. People be telling on themselves. Especially, like, the girls at work. When I hear them talk about making money and I hear them, you know, talking to customers and what they say to customers in order to get them in VIP, it's wild. There's some fucked up people out here. And see, that's the thing. I've never, ever schemed on somebody to make money in a strip club. Ever. I've never, ever, you know, stole from somebody like that. Even when I was on drugs, at least I fucking went to work and worked for drug money. I wasn't out here stealing. I've never stolen my life. And matter of fact, that's a blessing, because my grandmother, my mother's mother, used to teach me to steal. Now, I love my grandma, God rest her soul, Grandma Mildred, but she absolutely taught me how to steal from a very early age. We would go into grocery stores, and back in the early 90s, man, teen magazines, they used to have these magazines, and those were like the hot shit back in like the early 2000s and the 90s, like 1999, 98. They had all of these magazines like It, or Teen Magazine, and it would have like the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or Britney Spears, you know. That was the hype back in the day. Like, that's what you wanted before touchscreen phones. They wasn't even a thing back then. That's what you wanted, though. We had MTV and we had magazines. And, you know, the internet was still in its infancy then. So, my grandmother, though, she lived on a fixed income. Very fixed income. She barely had enough money to pay her rent and buy food on the regular basis back in the early 80s and 90s and early 2000s. You know, part of the reason that my mother was poor was because she grew up poor from my grandmother. You know, we've always been in poverty. And so my grandmother didn't have a lot of extra money to buy these magazines. And so I would go into like Food Line. Actually, back in the day, it would have been like Piggly Wiggly or something. But my grandmother would go over to the magazine section and she'd take a quick look around. She'd roll up the magazine and stuff it in her purse. Now, I understand that she was doing this for me so that I had what I wanted, and my grandmother was so sweet, y'all. Sorry. It's wrong. It was absolutely wrong. Sorry. I'm trying not to cry. I don't know why I got emotional. I am about to have my period, so that makes sense. And last night, I was a fucking blubbering mess. Like, I was so upset when I got off work because it was so hot and I couldn't find anywhere to cool off. I was that fucking miserable. So, anyways, my grandmother absolutely taught me wrong by doing that, trying to teach me how to steal. And I'm glad that I didn't pick up on that habit. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that habit. I mean, even when it came to like fighting, I was always doing it out of defense of someone else or taking up for myself. I wasn't out here just busting people in the throat. It was a purpose. It was a reason, you know. And I think that that's why fighting was my thing. You know, I think every kid that has behavioral issues, they have a thing. And my thing was busting heads open, most definitely. And, you know, I'm glad that I wasn't a thief. I'm glad that that didn't stick with me. I'm glad that I knew better. And you know what? I have a guilty conscience. Like, I can't steal nothing. Nothing. Not even a cup out of a restaurant to get a glass of water. I would feel guilty. I have a very guilty conscience, and I've never stole. And I'm grateful that my grandmother teaching me how to steal did not become a bigger issue. But I think the reason that it didn't is because of my moral compass. Even when I was in elementary school, I always had this very black or white moral compass. It's either right or wrong, good or bad. There's no middle ground when it comes to morals and values, in my opinion. You know, that's just how I feel about it. I see things in good or bad, positive or negative. I don't know how to explain that, but that's how I feel about it. And I think part of the reason that I didn't get into stealing was because I knew it was bad. When I was busting people's heads open, it was for a reason, like I said. And it's usually because they were lying on me. I'm grateful that I turned it around. Like, you know, I don't know. It scares me to think about who I could be. I'm very blessed that I have the insight to realize that it's not good to be a bad person. I'm glad that I decided to turn it around. But, you know, even when I was living a life of crime and drugs, it wasn't like I was out here doing illegal shit and being a grimy human. I still kept my moral compass about me, even in drug use, shooting hundreds of dollars worth of black tar heroin every day, and I was still a better person than half of the motherfuckers that I meet out in society. Make that make sense. I'm the ex-con, drug addict, stripper, whatever you want to call me. Why am I the one saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't steal, maybe you shouldn't lie, maybe you should value your marriage? Just a thought. So I'm in the middle of bumfuck boy, you got a pretty mouth. And I might go missing. I've done drove to my stomping grounds out in the woods. So I've lived out on the outskirts of Hanging Rock, North Carolina for the past 20 years. I had a family abuser that come into my life when I was underage. I was a juvenile. I was not of age when I met this person, and they come into my life acting like a savior, wanting to buy me a car, wanting to do this and that for me, always giving me money. And this person got me hooked up with other women who were into drugs, and before long I started shooting heroin. And it's crazy how it progressed so quickly. I'm talking in a matter of days it progressed. I'm talking, I snorted some heroin, and then the following day I was shooting it. That damn quick it progressed. And it wasn't like I had a choice at the time, because my savior, my family member, this person who was my savior, wanted me to be on drugs, because if I was on drugs, then I was more compliant. And you know, when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, you don't realize that, I didn't realize that there were actually some very, very, very evil people out here that would get me strung out on drugs just to be able to control and do sexually whatever they wanted to with me. And I wholeheartedly believe that he tried to kill me. I really do. I think he wanted me to die. You know, we're talking about a man that is almost 60 when I met him when I was a teenager. When I was underage. I don't care if I was 25 when I met him. I grew up very sheltered. At this point, my mother was dying. I had nowhere to go. I was homeless. I had no income. And this person comes into my life and says, oh, well, I'll help you out. And that's a lie. I was doing things with myself. I took the AS5. I was trying to join the military at the time. So that's a lie. I was doing things in my life. It just wasn't the best things, you know? And, yeah, for the longest time, you know, I think I wanted to die. I do. I think that I felt so trapped, and I tried to get out of this situation so many times. So many times I tried to leave, one of which I attempted to off myself. I drank a bottle of rubbing alcohol. Once again, I'm a teenager. I don't know any better. I thought it would kill me. No, it just burned like a motherfucker. And I was 18 then, and this is when the abuse started. So he didn't just start messing with me day one. No. It took years for him to break me down. Years. And it started with him getting me a car. he said, well, let me get you a car. You know, he didn't want to give me a car when I needed to go take my ASVAB and I was trying to join the military. He prevented me from going to that, but weeks later, he gives me a damn car. And, you know, the idea of freedom to me was appealing because I'd never had that. I'd been so sheltered everywhere in my life, whether it was a group home, foster home, with my parents, with my grandmother. I'd been so sheltered that I really was very stupid and naive, and I genuinely thought that this person cared about me because they were doing things for me. I failed to realize that they were doing these things for me because they had a bigger plan for me. They were most definitely going to use me for their own perversion, which is what happened. And not only that, but sorry, I'm trying not to miss my exit. Not only that, I was never able to have a normal life because I had this person in my life. And it's only been since I got clean that I realized that I can't have a normal life if this person is in my life. Because this person wants me to fail. Because they're mad that we were born 50 years fucking apart and he can't have me. He was in love with me, and I understand that. And I understand what it feels like to be in love with somebody and not be able to have them. But at the same fucking time, sir, you were my grandfather's age. I was a juvenile. You're a pervert. You're a sick pervert. There's something not right with you. And I'm saying this because I know the pervert's watching. He always does. He's obsessed with me. He won't let me go. I mean, it's fucking a shame that I've had to get like restraining orders and shit. But, you know, I probably should go get another one. Yeah. So it started with a car. And then I can't remember exactly how it happened, but he would break me down little by little. And within a couple of months, he was essentially forcing me to sleep with him. I didn't have a choice. Like, if I say no, then I'm not going to have a home. I'm not going to have a home. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And at this point, he had done got me strung out on heroin, so I have that daily dependency. It's crazy to think about how naive I was. And I absolutely feel like he wanted me to die because he couldn't have me. He always wanted me to be involved with him and love him and be in like a relationship or marriage with him. And I never was open to that because, number one, he's old enough to be my grandfather. Number two, I knew it was wrong. And number three, it makes me feel horrible. Like, do you know how fucked up you would have to be? Do you know how fucked up you have to be to deal with that? Ugh. I mean, it's absolutely repulsive. And, you know, in 20 years of me going and coming from this ranch, from this property, it was never an issue until I got clean. That's the last thing that anyone thought that I would do. That's the last thing anyone thought I would ever do. I have no doubt that everyone that knows me thought that I would end up dead. That they would show up and find my body dead in my truck one day. I have no doubt that everybody expected that from me. The last thing that anyone ever expected for me to do, everyone, was get clean. And then I get clean, and it's almost as if people are offended that I love myself and I want to do better. It pisses them off. It pisses them off. They might not be your friends. I say this all the time. Might just be somebody that's in competition with you and you don't even realize it. And what gets me is I ain't even got nothing to be I ain't got nothing to be like, I mean, how can I say it? I don't have anything to be jealous over. Nothing. But maybe my character. But like, you get what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like the girls at work, you know, I can already see like the cattiness and the bombastic side eye and shit like that. Yeah. I don't know why women get like that around me. I feel bad for people that don't appreciate themselves. I think that it's literally the most important thing you'll ever do is falling in love with yourself. And it's taken me 20 years to get here, but I'm not turning back now. I wish that I saw a lot more people love themselves and appreciate themselves. I feel like in general, we're all struggling in some manner. Whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's mentally, we're all struggling. Everybody I know is fucking going through it. And that sucks. I just want to be grateful and continue to stay clean, and I'm just so grateful for the level of awareness that I have. I should be dead. I did die several times. I've died so many times from overdoses, I don't even know how many times. I want to say somewhere around 7, but there could be more. There could be less. 5 without a doubt, and those are dead, like dead. Multiple bottles of Narcan type of dead. And I've still been looking into drug rehabs, freaking trying to find a job. They were hiring for a counselor, addiction therapy, addiction and trauma counselor for a drug rehab, but you have to have a certificate, and I'm just like, you know, like, I mean, if I'm going to go to school for something, it's going to be a trade so that I have a skill, so that I can work for myself. I'll be damned if I'm going to go waste all my damn time and money for a certificate program, you know, like, and it's only for that place. It's not like that certificate can help me anywhere else. I mean, it might, but, you know, it's specifically for this place. They want me to do a program, and I would have to go to school Monday through Friday for 12 weeks. I ain't got time. When do I have time? I'm working a full-time job plus a part-time job plus, you know, buying and reselling stuff, and then, you know, I literally have so much going on. I don't know when I would have time. If anyone that has the luxury of going to college, count your lucky stars, honey. Count your lucky stars. If you're going off to university or have the luxury of not having to work while going to school, you're lucky. You're very lucky. I've been trying to figure out for 4 years since I got clean how to find a full-time job and maintain going to school every day. Now, so the 2 classes that I took last semester was a history and a math class that I have to have, but I only took 2 classes because I can't do a full load of classes. It would be impossible, even if it's online. I commend anyone that works a full-time job and goes to school. That's hard. It's very hard. I had testing for a week and a half at the end of April, and I like lost my mind doing that testing. It affected my sleep. It affected how I was eating. It affected my job. Like, you gotta have some damn mental gonads to deal with online school anyways nowadays. It's so pretty. Look how pretty these flowers are, y'all. Look at these beautiful flowers. I'm in Madison. I am. So I had this girl at the club the other night tell me that she gave me the phone number of a dentist. She said that he could fix. I have not brushed my teeth this morning. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in rough form. See how hot my face looks? Like, I'm literally on fire. So what happened was I chipped my top tooth from my bottom teeth. I grind my teeth really bad in my sleep. It stems from stress. Woo, yay. Love that for me. And I chipped my front teeth. And you can't really tell. I can tell more than anybody else can tell, I think. But it's definitely bothered me. And I need some other dental work too, but that specifically hurts my feelings. Like, it hurts my soul, okay? I understand there's a lot of people that don't care about their oral health, okay? My abuser specifically, he's missing half of his teeth and he don't give a shit. I understand. And that might be because of where he's from, like the mountains. We operate different here. But I care, and I want to get it fixed. And she said that her dentist, who did her veneers, could fix this. I don't know how he could fix it. I was thinking we could file it and make them kind of like, not straight across, but like file my two big teeth down to match. You know, I don't know. Something needs to happen though, because it really bothers me. It really does. Something that simple. And I literally woke up and pieces of my teeth were laying on my tongue. When I say I cried for like days, I'm not joking. I was a mess for days over it. What it was is like my bottom teeth chipped my front teeth when I was grinding my teeth in my sleep. And you can actually see where they connect. So, shit happens. Shit happens. It could be worse. You know what? We're going to pull over and brush our teeth. Because my mouth feels gross. Shibidoo-woo-boop-boop-a-doo. Ah-ha. You make me feel like dancing. I want to dance the night away. Ooh, ABC store. I am good. Y'all, when I tell y'all I had tequila yesterday. This shit sucks. I hate tequila. I went to Mexico in May of year before last. And I literally drunk so much tequila that I had to take a triple shot just to get on the shuttle bus to make it back to the United States, because I'd been drunk the whole damn week and was hungover so bad. That's bad when you got to take a double shot of tequila and drink a pina colada just to be able to get your ass out the bed to get on the plane to come back home. Great vacation. The dipshit that I went with, let me tell you this. Let me tell you how miserable this relationship was. I went with this guy. We stayed for a week. We did not have sex once. We didn't sleep in the same bed the entire time we were there. We were a miserable couple on vacation in Cancun, and we didn't even enjoy it together. Because he was such a Debbie fucking Downer all the time. I'm not dating anybody like that again. Oh my God. So that's why your name is Fugitive J. Bless your heart. Yeah, I need an implant for the back. I had an abscess back there back in the day, and I need an implant. And I have silver fillings that I would like to get removed one day. Silver. Yeah, so I mean, you know, and to me it looks like my tooth is rot, but it's not. It's a silver filling. But, you know, it really sucks that they put that right there. I'm like, damn, y'all couldn't have spent, I mean, $60, Mom? You couldn't have spent $60 to make that a white tooth? Whatever. Whatever. Toothbrush. And, you know, since I grew up in foster care and stuff, my brothers always stayed home. So I would be thrown into foster care, but my brothers got to stay there at my parents'. So my brothers would live with my parents full time, but I was in foster care. So I'm sure that has a lot to do as to why my brothers and I view our upbringing so differently, because we live different lives. We absolutely live different lives. Half of my life I spent in group homes, foster homes, juvenile youth development centers, and he was home with my parents, you know? So we absolutely had separate lives, and I understand why we view things the way that we do, so separately and differently. I'm sweating so bad. Like, I'm not even joking. My pants, my shorts are soaked. I've got to get this AC fixed today. Like, and here's another thing. I was thinking, so what? I get it fixed. Then I have air. It's not like I have a lot of money to be running the damn air. It's going to cost me gas to run the truck in order to have the air. So I'm getting it fixed is going to cost me a whole new list of problems, like money problems, because I'm going to be running the damn truck for AC all the time. Where in the hell is all my toothpaste? I literally just bought 4 new tubes, and they're all missing. When I tell y'all that my truck has never, in a year and some change of living out of my car, my truck has never looked like this. Ever. It is disgusting. First of all, this is usually my kitchen. As you can see, there's trash there. I mean, it's just this. Oh my God, is that an underwear? That's my dance clothes from last night. Like, this is a mess. I've got to clean this up today. The whole truck is a mess. Them Chiefs ain't looking too shabby. Thank you. Yeah, it could definitely be worse. It could definitely be worse. But like I said, I've had customers that come into the strip club and they say things about my teeth trying to hurt my feelings. Like, it's amazing to me how mean some guys can be, how mean people can be, you know. That guy I'm talking about one guy specifically. He said something shitty about my teeth, and I told him, I said, oh, yeah, so hold that against me. Growing up, like, you know, coming up in poverty, it's my fault. Yeah, I know. You know, I was, like, sarcastic, saying I grew up in poverty. It's not my fucking fault. Like, my teeth aren't perfect. He cashed at me $500. He did, in the strip club. I guess he felt guilty, and he cashed at me money, which I will gladly take. If anybody wants to be mean to me and then send me money, I'm down. I'm down. You can roast me all day long as you pay a bill. Yeah, so I definitely am going to try to get my AC fixed. I hope that he's able to get that part, you know. And here's the thing, why tell me that you can do something and then give me your number and then I text you and you don't fucking respond? People ain't worth a damn, are they? They ain't worth a damn. So I did buy me an inverter, and this thing has come in handy. Thank God it has not killed my battery yet. You have a lot of battery issues, charging issues when you're living out of your car like this. It causes a lot of problems. It can drain your battery just charging your phone for long periods of time. So I said the other day, I'm actually going to make a list of maybe like 10, 15 things that's a necessity for full-time car living. Stuff that's kind of out of the box. And I started the list, I just haven't finished it, and that's why I haven't made the video, but I'm definitely going to do that, because I wish, you know, when I first started living like this out of my car full time, I went to YouTube to figure out what I needed to do, what I needed, you know, what do I need living out of a car? And it's surprising that there wasn't really a whole lot of information on what you should have or what's a necessity when living like this. When I tell you, I don't understand. Where the fuck is my makeup bag? I don't know where nothing is this morning, and it's really making me stress. My ADHD, when I can't find things and stuff is like disorganized, it literally makes my whole day run like shit. And that's the ADHD in me. It's where you're so overwhelmed by the mess that you can't begin your day, because I can't even fucking find toothpaste right now, you know? Like, I don't understand. I don't even see my makeup bag. Oh my God. Y'all, I think I left my fucking makeup bag at work. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Maybe it's hiding under some shit. I'm just gonna have to get out. Like, I don't understand where it could have went to. Pissing me off. My bed's all fucked up. So I got 2 new dressers. My mattress is all messed up. Don't panic. Don't panic. Calm down. I'm getting worked up. So the most frustrating part of living out of your car, absolutely, is not being able to find stuff that you know you have, okay? That's the hardest part. Like right now, if I left that makeup at work, I'll never see it again. Number one, if I left that bag at work, it'll be gone. They'll steal it and it'll be gone. I mean, I've literally never left that shit before. Oh my God. I just want to cry right now. Literally, I'm about to fucking panic. I left my fucking $1,000 worth of makeup at work. Yeah. Haas Labs. Concealer and foundation. Like, I'm fucking so mad right now. You know, and another thing, I will say that the floor guys walk you out, but they're not worth a shit. They never carry my bags. That's literally your fucking job when you walk me out, is to carry my bags. I had 4 bags in my hand when I left yesterday. I'm walking out, all this shit on my arms, and now I can't find my makeup bag. So I must have left it because I had so much shit. And I'm literally, essentially, a whole state away. I'm nowhere near Raleigh. I'm 3 hours from Raleigh. And I don't have my bag. You know, I've literally never lost that thing. But it's not here. It's not in my truck. It's not here. I left my makeup bag at work. Unless it fucking fell out on the highway or something. Like, I don't understand where it could have went to. I'm so devastated right now. That makeup is irreplaceable. I mean, it's thousands of dollars worth of makeup. I had 2 Estee Lauder foundations in there. One of those foundations is $60, and I have 2 of the expensive ones, not to mention all of the expensive Anastasia of Beverly Hills stuff that I have. Like, I don't understand how I fucking just left that bag there. But I did. So I had this bag, I had this bag, I had 3 bags, and I must have set it down and fucking forgot it. And that's what I'm saying. Why am I tipping these people $400 and they can't even help me get my stuff out of my car? I tipped the bouncers $400 the other day. For what? For what? I'm so mad. I'm literally about to fucking drive back to Raleigh. I just want to cry. Story of my fucking life. This is the first time this has ever happened, so this is new. You know, hell, at this point I can go back, but they done fucking went through all my makeup and rummaged through it. There won't be nothing left. Because that's a strip club for you. I just don't understand. No wonder I can't find any fucking toothpaste. I don't have my bag. I've literally never left that bag behind. I'm so fucking mad right now. It's my own fucking fault. I should have never carried it in. Number one, I usually do my makeup before I go in there. I don't take makeup into the strip club because I've been robbed so many fucking times. I'm sick of spending my money on stuff and then it gets taken from me. Literally the only one of 2 things that I have of value is that fucking makeup bag and my mama's gold watch. That's literally the 2 things I fucking own, and my makeup bag's gone. Wonderful. I mean, I can text my manager and say, hey, I left my shit there. Can you grab it for me? Like, but if it's been sitting out all night, I've already got. You can count your lucky stars for that. I mean, it's not like I need makeup, but like, I do wear it at work. And I'm pissed right now. I'm pissed. I bet the whole fucking bag will be gone. Because it's a nice bag. I bet the whole thing will be gone. I don't understand how I left that fucking thing. I really don't. Like, I keep looking and looking. You know how, like, when you lose something and you're like, is it here? Is it there? Like, there's nowhere it could be. But I keep, like, tripping. Like, first of all, here's my dance bag. And I cleaned it out last night. So I have a Nike bag that I put my dance stuff in. I have a pink makeup bag. And then that has like shoes in it, my dance shoes. Where's my dance shoes? Where are my dance shoes? Jesus fucking Christ, I can't today. Yo, my dance shoes are gone too. Yeah. Wonderful. I just... First of all, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Like, I'm mentally shutting the fuck down. Where's my... Oh, my God. You know what? You know what? My lock's gone. I locked all my shit in my locker. I'm a fucking idiot. Y'all, I need to get my life together. My ADHD, my anxiety, my fucking stupid. I'm stupid. Y'all, I have a lock. I just remembered I locked it in my locker. How long did it take me to realize, to remember? How long? It's been about, what, 20 minutes I've been panicking? I locked it in my fucking locker. I have a locker now. I just remembered I got a locker. I'm gonna tell you what, stress is a killer. I'm like, where are my dance shoes? And why is my dance bag empty? Like, because I locked everything in my locker. Okay, I feel better. It'll be fine. I ain't got no makeup for the weekend, but it'll be fine. I don't need makeup. But I don't have any toothpaste now, so let's go to Dollar General and get some toothpaste. I need to stop smoking the devil's lettuce. I can't remember shit. I distinctively remember now. Oh, Jesus. So, I'm in the hot tub the other day at work, and my vape got wet. I literally just bought this one. It won't cut on. It won't charge. I was wondering if I could dump this one into this one, like dump it in there, because this is 7 grams that's wasted because it won't cut on now. Oh my God, it just cut it. Oh, it says it's died. Listen, I charged this thing the other day and it would not charge. Maybe it dried out because now it's charging. Hey, at least one thing is going good today. I can't believe I forgot that I left my dress shoes. I literally bought a dress the other day because I didn't have anything like sexy to wear for work. And, you know, when you're a dancer, that's very important. It's literally the most important thing is like your clothes and your shoes. Look at this dress I bought. First of all, it smells amazing because I wore it yesterday. First of all, I bought this one. I love it. When I say that it is so adorable on, it just looks very simple and plain. However, it is sheer. It is sheer. You can see through it. I don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see through it. And I don't know. It's just nice. I got this for $3. And I also bought a green one that it like goes over your boobs, like how can I explain it? It ties across your boobs and it's got these cutouts for your stomach, but it's a dress and it's kind of like roughly around the ass, so it accentuates your ass and your curves. But it has like I'll have to take a picture and show you guys because it's super cute. And I also paid like $3 for that dress at Plato's Closet, both of them. And can I just say that Plato's Closet has actually fallen off? They're not as good as they used to be. Plato's Closet, when I went in there yesterday, they literally had nothing in there. I mean, the store was half empty. So I don't know if Plato's Closet is like going out of business. I don't know if they've had some financial issues since COVID. I don't know. I just know that Plato's Closet has most definitely fallen off. Because I've been to several locations in different cities and they all didn't really have a lot. You know, I mean, if I buy some cheap brand over American Eagle, over Hollister, over things that I like Urban Outfitters, White House Black Market, Express, like there's certain brands that I like. If I buy some cheap brand over those expensive brands, that's saying a lot, because usually when I spend my money and I'm buying resold stuff, I try to go for like American Eagle, Hollister, things that are gonna last a while. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I have stuff from American Eagle and Hollister that I've had since high school because that's how durable it is. This won't last long. I'll probably have this for a couple of months before one of the straps pop off. But for $3, you can't beat it. And I made $500 in this yesterday. So, you know, I think I made $500 yesterday. I know that this guy tipped me on stage. He was literally over there just throwing money. When I say that I had 2 stacks of ones like this, 2 stacks of ones. Let's see what I made yesterday. Let's not get robbed. That would be my luck. Get robbed on fucking live. Yay. Wonderful. Is this it? I thought I had more than this. Oh, I put $50 in gas, and then I got cigarette pods, so that's 80. So I spent 80 when I got off of work, because that's what I do. 1, 2, 3, 50 plus 80 would be what? 430. 5. Yeah, so like 435-ish. So I've got 1, 2, 3 50s. Can I just say that I love bigger bills? When I get these bigger bills, I can hold on to these for forever. And it'll pain me to have to spend one of these. It really will. The bigger bills, I won't break them. I'll hold on to them for forever until I have to pay a bill. I do like the bigger bills, then I don't spend them, you know. Because once you break a 50 or 100, it's gone. As soon as you break it, it's gone. All right, let's go get some toothpaste. Ugh. So I can brush my nasty teeth first. What y'all want to listen to? Hello, Chelsea. Oh my God. Hold on. Is that Chelsea? I hope so. If that's you, Chelsea, I love you. I hope y'all are doing well. I cannot believe I left. Y'all, I was freaking out about my makeup. I was like, God, I never leave that bag. And they will. Don't leave your stuff unattended. They will rob you. They will rob you. I had this girl that come into the strip club one time. And she's running around. She ain't got no money bag. You need a purse. Like, when I go into work, I actually, y'all, I'm so funny. I've been carrying this lunch bag as my money bag. I get so many compliments on it, though. Oh, so anyways, you need a money bag. So there's these 2 girls that come in, and they're friends, okay? They're friends. And they come in the strip, and, where's my glasses? I'm telling you, it's I've got to clean out my truck. I can't find nothing. They come in the strip, 2 friends, young girls, early 20s, maybe. And they're stripping, and one of the girls is making ones on stage. She's making some tips, right? And I keep seeing her going over to her friend and putting her money in her friend's bag. And I said, what are you doing? Where's your dance bag? You know, blah, 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 blah. Where's your dance bag? She's like, oh, I don't have one. I'm just going to let my homegirl hold my money. I said, no, you're not. I said, no, the fuck you're not. I said, here's 2 hair bows. Let me show you how to put it on your thong or your shoe or whatever. I said, the last thing you do is let these girls convince you that that they're trustworthy. Don't believe it. I said, that's the quickest way to end that friendship. I said, you need to be responsible for your money that you make on stage. Do not let your friend hold your money. It's not good. It's not a good look either, you know. But yeah, this girl was so naive. She definitely was going to let her friend just go over on her. And I have no doubt that the girl would have gotten over on her, you know, because that's the industry. Happy birthday, Yate. Happy birthday. Y'all, I think it's broke. Oh, thank you, Chelsea. I'm doing well. It's hot as shit, but I'm doing well. I'm glad y'all are doing well. SUV. Yeah, so this truck is a truck. It's a 4-door Silverado, and I do have a truck bed back there. I actually have a cooler. Well, I'll just show you. I'm waiting on the Dollar General to open so that I can get some toothpaste because I left my dance bag at work. So I have a cooler back here that I really use. I have another storage for like tools. I don't know if you can see that. I need to put this tire back underneath here, but the issue is that you have to have a special tool. So when I bought this truck, it was a reward for myself for getting sober. And I didn't do my research like I should have. I wish that I would have. It's a very nice truck. I should have showed it to you, all right? Very nice black truck. I should have done my research, because what I didn't know is that you essentially need a whole damn toolbox to do anything to this truck. I can't get my battery out without a toolbox. 2 different tools just to get the battery out. I also would need a special tool just to put my tire underneath my truck. I mean, it's a process. Every single thing you need a special tool for. You can't just get in there and work on this thing. It doesn't work like that. So I didn't do my research, and I regret that. If I could go back in time, I would have bought a 2012 Chevrolet, which is what I went to buy the day that I got this. And he says, oh, well, they're not going to approve you for that, because by the time the loan would be getting paid off, the car would be breaking down. So they put me in a new truck. Now, I've had this thing for about 4 years, over 2 years. Y'all, it's been a while. It's been a while. But it's been a very reliable truck. It does drink a lot of gas. I spend around $250 a week on the low end just for gas. On the low end. Like, I have weeks that I spend $300-400 on gas. And it's just, it is what it is, especially with me looking for full-time employment outside of a strip club in a healthy environment. Since I've been looking since October. I've spent $20,000-$30,000 since October in gas running to look for jobs, you know, and being a felon is not easy. And, you know, and then, you know, the additional, my criminal record from years ago. And then, you know, I've made this perfectly clear that, that one of the reasons that I turned my life around, that I was able to get myself together, get clean, the motivation behind it was being wrongfully convicted of crimes that I did not commit. And that was a wake-up call for me. That was a huge wake-up call for me. And I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm just saying that I'm doing better now than I have for the majority of my life. And being charged and convicted of something that you did not do, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you didn't do it, that is one of the worst feelings that I've ever felt in my entire life. I think what it is for me is the unpredictability, like it's out of my hands. I can't control it. You know you're innocent, but you can't do shit about it. Nobody will hear you out. Your own lawyer is a piece of shit because he's he represents the state. He's a state-appointed attorney. I mean, he works for the enemy, okay? Why did I think he was going to do anything for me? Because they didn't, you know? So, that definitely was a wake-up call for me. And I'm grateful. I'm not grateful that happened. It literally holds me back, just like the rest of my criminal record. But that's a pivotal moment in my life. That's where I became aware. That's where I become aware. You know, and I'm not grateful for it, but everything happens for a reason. And it sucks. It really sucks. And finding work is hard. I mean, there's a job shortage. Nobody believes me, but just wait. Just wait. There's absolutely a job shortage out here. There has been since I started looking for work in October, and it's going to get worse. CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, they're all closing hundreds of stores. Those people that are working there then have to go find employment elsewhere. I haven't been able to find employment. So where are these people going to be working? There's hundreds of companies that are laying people off right now. Just in my area. I'm in the mountains right now. I literally left Raleigh to come to the mountains because I wanted to spend the day out here. And I also am going to get my AC fixed later. I'm so glad that I put that stuff in my locker. I was like, what in the world? I realized it. See my ADHD, how bad it is? I realized it when I looked at my dance bag and the lock wasn't on there. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I put my makeup, my shoes, and my green dress in there. I just need to slow down, right? So, yeah, looking for work and spending all that money. There's days where I'll do 6, 7, 8 interviews in one day. Just to be told no. Just to be told no. And here's what pisses me off is that I ask these sons of bitches before I go in these interviews, do y'all hire felons? And they say, well, we don't know. It's case by case. So then I drive a fucking hour to get to this interview, get in there, spend an hour in there, wasting my fucking breath and time, only to be told that no, corporate won't let us hire you. You know, I've got it's two counts of it's 2 counts of essentially attempted murder. It states assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury with intent to kill. That does not look good. It just doesn't look good. There's no explanation that I can give to justify that. And then you tack on possession of heroin, assault, you know, like you start tacking on all those other things, but the 2 felonies are what is really holding me back. I've had no other employers say anything else about anything but those 2 felonies. They're worried that I'm a violent offender, and I am. I'm considered a violent offender. But it's like, damn, how long is this going to hold me back? It's been 2 decades, almost. How long is it going to hold me back? I've had to continuously strip and do unsavory things to fucking survive out here. And I'm sick of it. I've been saying that I literally just went back to stripping. I've not been stripping in years because the industry took a nosedive. But like, you know, the clubs are not going to be here in 10 years. This is not a long-term option. It's not a long-term, you know, plan. It's temporary. You know, I was telling people that I got a new job, blah, 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 blah. I got hired at the nicest club in the state, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like, yay, good, good, good. Like, okay, yeah, thank you. But it's temporary. Like, it's not for forever. And it's not like, you know, like I said, I've already did the breakdown. They make $100,000. I make $38,000. So yeah, I make $150,000 a year as a stripper, but I only get to walk away with $38,000, essentially, hypothetically. Hello, Susie. The system was not designed to be broken. I think that it's took decades for the system to become broken, whether we're talking about, you know, the prison system, the CPS, that system, the government system. I think that I think it has to do with people being in positions that they shouldn't be in. We see that a lot nowadays. We see people in high positions of power, and we know that they should not be there. Look at Fannie Willis down in Georgia. How did this woman become a district attorney? And not only is she a district attorney for one county, she's a district attorney for like 5 different cities, major cities, Atlanta being one of those cities. She's the head district attorney who does not even know how to speak English properly. How does somebody like that get in that position? That's why the systems are broken. It's because of shit like that. It's taken years for the system, all systems, like I said, from our education system to the housing, everything is broken right now. No doubt. I agree with you on that. But I think that it's taken generations for it to come to a head like it is right now. And we're really starting to see the cracks in the foundation everywhere we look. I mean, it's a hot mess express. I remember growing up, you would go into places of businesses and they were reputable. They had, how can I explain it? They were reputable. Am I saying that right? Like they were good businesses. You don't experience that anymore. Like even going to the dentist, like, you know, people are just unprofessional, and it's taken years. But I think that also it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Things are not going to get better. There's no way that we can fix all of this. I mean, yeah, the economy might get better, you know, next year or something, but it's just, for me personally, hypothetically, to talk about housing, like if I wanted to go get a house, it's damn near impossible because I'm a felon. But also there's not any houses available to be had. There's nowhere, you know, to buy, to rent. And that's not going to get better for me. So yeah, the economy might get better next year, but I'm still going to be facing homelessness, job shortage, you know. And I think that as far as CPS, that system, the government system, I think they've always been evil. Growing up in that system, I grew up in foster care. I grew up in these temporary living arrangements, you know, and it didn't used to be as bad as it is now. Like, you would still go into these places and it seemed as if they were decent, they were okay, they were semi-safe. I can only imagine how bad the foster care system is nowadays, because it wasn't great back then. But if things are getting worse, and we know that they're getting worse, imagine how rough it is coming up in childcare today, foster care, independent living, places like that. Yeah, I did do house sitting. I stopped doing that because I was doing that for the owner of the winery. So I worked at this winery. I've been there for on and off 2 years. And I moved to Florida. I moved back. And anyways, I was working for this lady at the winery. And she would tell people that came into the winery that I could house sit for them, watch their pets, water their plants, blah, 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 blah. So I did that. I was doing those little contracts. I watched her house. I watched another lady that came into the winery, her animals. There's shorts on that. I was doing that. However, I'm not in that area anymore, number one. But also, I can't get a job through the app because I'm a felon. Not only am I a felon, but I have past criminal drug offenses. So these little apps where you can go and become a maid and you just put in your information and get hired, that's bullshit. They won't let me do that. I can't get on through any of the apps for house sitting gigs. They wouldn't, I can't drive for Uber. I can't drive for Lyft. You know what I mean? There's a policy and procedure that they have, and I wouldn't even fucking qualify as far as the apps. But I do like house sitting, and that's a great gig. I mean, it really is. It's not as lucrative as it should be for what you're doing. But, when I was doing it, I was making about $50 a day. But I was also working multiple other jobs at the same time. So I work multiple jobs now. I'm a full-time stripper and I dispatch trucks. And I'm looking for another job because I'm going to have to work 5. If I could, I'd be working 5 jobs right now. I feel like all I've ever done is work. I think this is broke. It's broke. Y'all, I am in rare form this morning. I look rough as shit. I have no brawn, and I can't find any freaking toothpaste, and I don't understand why this Dollar General ain't open. Oh, because it's 7 o'clock. Yeah. I'm going to have to go to Walmart. I need to go to Walmart anyways, but I need to put on a bra before I go in there. That's sad when that's the biggest task is putting on a bra just to go into Walmart. I think that I need a day off of work because I'm so sore. When I say that I'm so sore, I'm so sore. My whole upper body, my thighs, my calves. I stayed at Chick-fil-A last night and I woke up this morning. I literally got 2 hours of sleep. I woke up this morning and maybe 3, but I doubt that. I woke up this morning and I see some guy at Chick-fil-A walking around my car. I'm like, what the fuck? And like I said, I can't crack the windows, so my doors were locked, my windows were up. But it was a Chick-fil-A employee. He had opened the store and saw my truck out there, and I guess he was trying to make sure I wasn't dead or something, because everyone just assumes that I have to be on drugs because I live out of a car. They don't use their fucking brain and say, hey, the girl would need $50,000 just to move in to a fucking new house. I don't know if you got $50,000, but I don't have no $50,000. I ain't even got $10,000. And that's what I would need in order to move into a 1-bedroom apartment. First, last, has to be matched. First and last month has to be matched. Security deposit, which is matched. So that's $6,000 right there for a 1-bedroom fucking studio apartment. No, thank you. No, thank you. I have a home on wheels. And that's another luxury that I have. I'm hot. So hot. That's another luxury I have is that I can go wherever I want. And that has been nice, especially going back to dancing, because I was just in Charlotte last week dancing at a club down there. And I did so good, was making killer money, and one of the managers stole $100 from me. So I confronted the heifer and I said, hey, can I get my money back? She gave me the money back. Here's the thing though. Wouldn't you think that if somebody didn't do something that they would be defensive and say, oh, I didn't take that money? They didn't do that. They didn't. They did not deny taking that fucking money from me. They gave it back to me. And then they tried to punish me. The next day, so I'd worked Tuesday through Friday. I was making really good money. The best day I had, I think I made $425. And this day in particular was the day that the $100 was stolen from me. This club was so dead. It's called Leather and Lace Gastonia. It is on the North Carolina, like South Carolina, like it's right at the border of North Carolina. Leather and Lace Gastonia. Now, I'd worked for MAL before I got clean. I'd worked for this company for about 8 years, 6 to 8 years consecutively. And I'm talking, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars working for them. Not this club, but one of their sister clubs, because it's a franchise. And that he owns about 12 of them through the Charlotte, Gastonia area. So the way that this club operated was, because they were so dead and because of the fact that they didn't have any girls, they had to allow their general manager and their assistant manager to strip. So I go in there to get hired and I see 2 strippers, and it's the manager and the assistant manager, which is so fucking illegal. First of all, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that at all whatsoever. That's crazy. But they're the ones that shorted me $100. I went to leave. I received my dance money. It was short $100. I asked for my money back. I came back the following day to work. I was informed that I couldn't work. They were going to punish me for them stealing money from me. So I couldn't work. And she said, but you can come back Monday. I said, I won't be. I quit. Kiss my ass. Okay. Yeah, like, I don't know what kind of game they were trying to play. I don't know who the fuck they thought I was. But one thing you're not going to do is steal from me, gaslight me, okay, and then punish me because you have a drug problem and you don't know how to control your finances. That's what you're not going to do. So I quit, and I rode down to Raleigh and got hired at the nicest club in the state. This is not Walmart, but I do need to dump a bunch of trash. When I tell y'all I got off work last night and I was so hungry because I didn't eat before I went in, I went and got a Subway sub, and then 20 minutes later after eating that, I went and got Wendy's. I was starving, and I normally do not eat fast food. It makes me sick as a dog. I have a very picky palate. Like, I don't like fast food, and it makes me feel bad, you know? Like, I can literally eat a fast food, like, burger from McDonald's, and I can feel it seeping out of my pores. It just makes me feel gross. So I don't prefer fast food. Alright. Well, can't find my toothpaste. I'm just trying to stay cool this morning, honestly. I hope that they didn't mind me leaving my stuff in that locker. I'm sure not. Like, they're supposed to assign you a locker, but they don't have enough at this place. Like, let's see if I can find some toothpaste. I done searched in here once, but there's so much stuff in here. There's no Suki. Does anybody know what that means? My mama used to say that. She'd say, oh, Suki. Does anybody know what that means? Like, please let me know in the comments if you do, because I say it all the time now. Thanks, Mom. Oh, man. I'm struggling this morning. I don't understand. I literally just bought 3 or 4 new tubes of toothpaste, and I can't find not one. And this is a problem that you'll have living out of your car. And I'm so organized usually. It's so weird. It's definitely an off day for me. But it probably has a lot to do with my PMDD, because that's setting in. Yesterday in particular, I was an emotional wreck the entire fucking day. So yeah, it's like that. So the crazy thing is that the week before my period, I feel like shit. I'm lethargic. I can't eat. I'm erratic, manic, okay? Then, right after my period, I'll feel good for 1 week. Exactly 1 week. And then I start ovulating, and I start hurting again. So for about 3 weeks out of the month, I'm in physical pain. And that's constant. whether it's being bloated or breast tenderness, nausea, vomiting. This is from the PMDD and from the ovulation. I never realized until recent years how much that really affects my life and how physically debilitating it is, you know. And I think for a long time I walked around acting like nothing happened because of the abusive situation that I was in. I wasn't allowed, you know, to be in pain. I wasn't allowed to voice my opinion on things or be sick. I wasn't allowed to be sick, you know. So I think for a long time I walked around not realizing what was actually wrong with me, and then getting diagnosed with PMDD has been life-changing for me. It really explains why I feel like I do so much. And you know, technically I qualify for, I could get disability because it's that much of a mental and physical disturbance that I could try to get disability for PMDD, but I'm not going to do that because I like to work. I'm trying to get I'm at the car wash. I'm trying to get all my trash out. My curtain come down. I'm trying to get all the trash out. You know what's crazy though? Something that I've noticed recently is that, like, so I went on a date with this guy, right? And he kept talking about, like, first of all, when I meet people, I don't tell them that I live out of my car. Number one, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for people that you do not know to know, okay? It just is. You got to keep yourself safe. I'm a single female. I have to watch my back. But a problem that I've ran into is that, like, I'll go on a couple dates with somebody and then I'll finally tell them, like, hey, this is what I do. I don't know what it is, but they get, like, they probably get the ick by me. But I had one guy that was, like, acting funny, and he kept, like, I don't know. I guess the motherfucker thought that I wanted to move in with him or something. And for those that don't know, let me be perfectly fucking clear. If I wanted to go back into a toxic, abusive situation, I could be in DC right now living in $1 million house. I have that option whenever I want to. I could go back to my abuser if I wanted to. I have options, but I choose to do this because this is what makes me happy. I don't have to be around people that mistreat me, that don't have my best interest at heart. I can take care of myself, be on the fucking road. I really love the luxury of being able to go wherever I want right now. The luxury, here's the thing. There's not too many girls that have the luxury of just being able to drive across the country if they want to go strip in Florida. I can do that. I can go wherever I want. I'm free. I'm free. I don't have no AC, but it just broke, damn it. Like, yeah, I don't know. The guy was weird. He kept asking about my work and my job and what I was going to do this and what I was going to do that. Like, here's the thing. This is part of a bigger plan for me. This is temporary. Temporary. I'm not, you know, I'm not spending thousands of dollars a month on rent. I'm not. I think anyone that does is part of the problem. And I understand that people have kids and they have to, but at the same time, Susan did not have to buy that $100,000 house for $350,000 out of desperation. Susan could have waited. That's why shit's so expensive now. People got scared during COVID, started buying up shit. Then they started raising the house prices, and now, fuck, bro, the median house price in North Carolina is $377,000. That'll never happen. I will never be able to afford that. So I ain't worried about it. That's crazy though. I remember in my day, you could buy a trailer for $5,000, get you a little piece of land for $3,000, boom. You got a beautiful property out in the middle of the woods for $8,000. You can't do that shit no more. Hell, my friend just bought a trailer up in Virginia. It cost him $130,000 for a trailer, and that was the cheap one. I had the opportunity to buy this trailer one time, and the reason that I didn't buy it was because I felt like they were trying to get over on me. It was a 2001 trailer that had been completely rebuilt. I can't think this morning. It had been completely, y'all know what I mean. They renovated. All right, they'd renovated it. Hardwood floors, 1 bedroom on each end, 1 bathroom on each end. And they wanted, he wanted 16 grand, okay? I don't regret not buying that property now, because if I would have bought it, I would be paying over $1,000 in lot rent every month. Not 1,000, it would probably be around 500 in lot rent. So I would have owned the trailer, but I would have been paying rent every month just to have that trailer on the property, and I wouldn't have owned the land. So that's why I didn't buy it. But he only wanted 16 grand for it, which today would be a phenomenal price on a house, you know? If you could find a fucking trailer for 16 grand nowadays, that would be amazing, but it's not gonna happen. So what I do is I just take these sheets. The reason that I use sheets is because, first of all, when I'm inside the truck, I can actually see, when it's daylight, I can see through these out into the parking lot. You can't see in, but I can see out. I also wash these like 2 times a week. I pull these down and wash them with my mattress cover, my sheets, my pillow. I used to carry several sets of sheets. However, I don't anymore due to the fact that it's just extra space that's taken up, and you know, you don't really need it if you're going to wash them. I mean, you're going to have to, here's the thing. If you're going to live like this, you're going to be having to wash once or twice a day. Sometimes there are times that I've showered 3, 4, 5 times in a damn day. It's so hot that I just have to go in and take a cold shower in Planet Fitness. My AC broke last summer. The part is somewhere between $1,000 and $1,300. I do have a warranty, and I also bought an extended warranty, and I bought gap insurance. I went all out on this truck, and it has been one thing after another with it. But it's getting me to point A to point B, and I might be getting my AC fixed today. That was the plan. However, they're not open yet, so I'm taking care of some tasks. All right, we got all the trash out. It's still a fucking wreck in here, man. Like, I literally have got to pull everything out and re-put it all back in. That's another thing that you'll have to do a lot. It's just reorganize on a fucking daily basis. You're never going to be able to find half the shit that you need. And the amount of things that I lose in here is unbelievable. There's nowhere for anything to go, but somehow, still and yet, I will lose shit left and right. Let's finally go get some toothpaste. My oil light just come on. I think I need an oil change too. Oh, I bought 4 new tires. So I got a flat tire a couple weeks ago. Great, wonderful, yay, love that for me, okay? Got a flat tire. I drove to Greensboro, got 2 new tires, and then earlier in the week, I think it was Monday or so. Why is my phone not charging? Sorry, I'm trying to charge my phone. So then Monday, I had to go get 2 new front tires, and I actually had an old friend of mine. Where are my sunglasses? I had an old friend of mine meet me and actually give me the money for the tires. So that was really nice of him to do that for me, because at the time this was before I got hired at my new job. My PMDD is really messing with me this morning. I cannot find anything. I haven't been able to brush my teeth. I feel sticky. My face is on fire. I'm just like sensory fucking overload right now. I'm so uncomfortable that I'm frustrated. I don't understand where my fucking Ray-Bans are. I mean, my fucking Oakleys. More trash. More trash. Found an avocado from Mexico. I don't know where my fucking Oakleys are, and it's really aggravating me. More trash, more trash, more trash. Like, you literally, you're gonna be throwing away trash 50 times a day. It's amazing to me how much trash I accumulate. Where are my fucking sunglasses? Bah! Oh, more trash. More trash. I'm telling you, dude. My glasses were in my locker on the bottom shelf. Yeah. And I locked all of my work stuff in there, so now I don't have that. So I guess this is going to have to do. One thing that would really come in handy is those Walmart bags. You know how, like, when you go to Walmart, they give you little plastic bags or whatever? Freaking those things come in really handy. I literally have a whole door over there that's just full of them in my kitchen. I call my front seat my kitchen, because that's where my food is usually. Bro, when I was sitting in the car last night, a freaking roach flew in on me. Y'all, listen here, honey. I can handle just about anything in life except for a roach. It's disgusting. But yeah, plastic bags. I save those when I go to the grocery store, and I use those for trash on a daily basis. I have tons of them in here. And I keep my food and dry food storage up front because, I don't know, I'm just worried that if, like, bugs got in here, that at least they'd stay up front. I have never seen, knock on wood, I've never seen any bugs in here. I'm not having any kind of, like, problems with bugs. But one thing that I was going to say is that you will most definitely stink if you do not take care of yourself. And what sucks is I went through a really hard time last year. Like, I was so fucking depressed, y'all. When I went through this betrayal trauma and I was trying to get away from this man that had essentially held me hostage, mentally, spiritually, physically, for 17 years. I was trying to get away from him, and I was so depressed. I was the worst that I've ever been. It was literally the lowest point in my life. I was not taking care of myself. I was not showering. I didn't know how to handle everything, and that's the thing about CPTSD. When you have CPTSD and then you have something traumatic happen, your brain doesn't know how to function. Your body actually shuts the fuck down. My mind and body and spirit was shutting down. And so I started to stink. And something that helped snap me back into, like, the right frame of mind was doing laundry in a public place. There was this guy that came in, and he smelled like shit. And the whole laundromat smelled like shit. And when I say that it was so bad that it even fumigated the parking lot smelled like shit, y'all. This man was shitting and pissing in his vehicle, and I guess sleeping with bags of poop in his car. I don't know. But all I know is that smelling him and seeing that made me pick myself up off the ground. Like, I had to snap back together. I was like, listen, you cannot be walking in places smelling like that. And I never shit in my car or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's so hot that you will stink because of sweating. Just, you know, we sweat when we're outside. So if you're going without washing your ass, we're going to be able to tell, and you're going to smell. Right now, I usually have a towel on this seat. I wash my seats usually once every couple of months. I have a carpet cleaner, handheld carpet cleaner thing, so I can do my floors, I can do my seats. I usually have a towel on this seat. The reason that I don't this morning is because my laundry is packed up and I'm going to wash it. The window covers, you can take those down, throw them in the laundry with your sheets, so that works out well. I have front window covers, but they're made out of cardboard, but they're black. They kind of insert. But it's very important to take care of yourself living out of your car, because it not only is it more expensive, in my opinion, to live this way, but it takes a toll on your mental health. And if you're not taking care of your physical health, that's going to take a toll on your mental health. And I went through that last year, where I was in shock. It was absolutely shock. When you go through traumatic stuff like that, when you've known somebody for 20 years and that's your family and that's the only family that you have, and then they steal your life savings and kick you out of your own fucking property, and they use the legal system to form weapons against you. They weaponize the court system because they have money. That's a lot. That's shocking. You know, and here's the thing though. He really did me a favor, because I'd been trying to get away from this person for years. He did this to me He told me to get out of my own property, and I had to, because I left the property in his name because I was on drugs at the time and I did not have the money for property taxes. I didn't want to go through the financial burden of switching everything over to my name. I mean, I knew if the fucker died that I'd be fine. I never expected him to steal from me. I never expected him to steal my property, to steal my money. And, you know, I'm still fighting for that. That's something that's going to take a while. The attorney that I've spoke to said that it could take up to 10 years. You know, so it is what it is. But when you go through something like that, it fucks with your frontal cortex. I was in shock for, I think, until probably February. So from October to February, I was just running on autopilot. And you know what's crazy is that I was harming myself by drinking because I started to spiral. Because I was so upset and I just felt so betrayed. But like I said, he did me a favor. The reason that he did this was because he wanted me to sleep with him. Now, every time that he had kicked me out of my own property in the past, I come crawling back, willing to do whatever he wanted me to do sexually, just so I would have a home and a bed and, you know, be able to be in my house, okay? What he didn't expect was for me to say, fuck you, I'm done with this, good riddance. And that's exactly what happened. So he literally gave me an out so that I could get the fuck out of there without even realizing it. He was doing it intentionally to hurt me so that he could get sex, so that he could fuck me. And then when I said, you know what, you're right, we're done, and I didn't come crawling back begging to suck his dick, I could finally escape. And that's what I did. I took the opportunity to get the fuck out of there, to cut ties with this person completely. This person has misguided me more than any other person in my entire fucking life. I met this man when I was 17. He was 50-something years old. He knew better. I didn't know any better. I genuinely thought for the first year of our friendship that he genuinely cared about me. I thought that he cared about the fact that my mother was dying. I thought that he cared that I was homeless. I thought he cared about me. He never cared about me. And he never loved me. He thinks he loves me. He might be in love with me. But this man does not even know what love is. He's not capable of love. He's not, you know. And anyone that thinks that it's okay to sell women and children and girls, they're not okay. That's not a good person. That's a horrible person. And like I said, he misguided me so much in my life. And part of that is my own, you know, it's my own fault. But once again, I don't know. The older I get, the more different I feel about it. I used to feel like this person tried to save me. And I feel the complete opposite now. I truly feel like he was trying to kill me. And I think that he has always been angry at the fact that I was never truly into him. And I think that he was resentful because of that I was never in love with him. And I understand, like I said earlier, what that must feel like. I've had my heart broken too. But at the same time, I would never look to a child to fill a void. I would never look to a child to fill a void. He was the adult. And I was a child, and I don't care if I was 30 years old if I would have met him. I don't care if I was 30 years old. This person has mastered the art of manipulation, and he is able to coerce and force young girls into doing all kinds of stuff for him. And he's mastered the art of being abusive and, what do they call it when you're like, obsessive. I mean, he's very obsessive. He's weird, y'all. It's so weird. But yes, absolutely, I agree, Susie. He was the catalyst for your true worth. Yeah, definitely, all of those things. You know, what's sad, though, is that he was married when I met him, right? Okay, fine, whatever. We weren't dating. He didn't come into my life like that. He came into my life as a friend, okay? And then after a year, that's when the abuse started. Like, it wasn't, he didn't start abusing me immediately. It took time. And like I said, he has a way of manipulating. And I'm not the only one. There's another girl, her name's Faith. She's actually about to get out of prison. She hasn't learned yet. She hasn't learned yet. She's in and out of prison, and she's gonna get out of prison and move into my house. Okay, do you hear what I'm saying? Move into my house. Shit's so unbelievable. I mean, it really is. It's truly unbelievable. So, and she's going to fall right back into the cycle of drugs and addiction because she's allowing him to abuse her for gain, you know. And what's crazy is that I wasn't the first or only person that he ever used vehicles to manipulate into doing what he wanted. I think that I was the one that he loved. I think that I was the one that he wanted, but I was not the only girl that he did this to. He has been doing this for decades. And matter of fact, the man owned an escort service. These things I didn't know when I met him. But I didn't even know what that was when I was that age. I mean, I was so sheltered, you guys. I remember, like, I didn't know anything about the world when I left home. I left home to get the fuck away from my stepfather who was messing with me, and to get away from my brother, to get away from everything. And you know, what was I talking about? Oh, he came into my life trying to be the savior. And, you know, broken wing. I have no idea. I have not spoke to him. He's tried to text me. I've blocked him. I've let him know that I'm coming for him in court, and I mean it. So I don't care if it takes me a decade. He will be sent in front of a judge, and he will have to explain why he essentially kidnapped a 17-year-old and held her hostage for 20 years. And physically, mentally, and sexually abused her for all 17 of those years. He's going to sit in front of a judge and explain himself one day. Not only that, he's going to explain why I gave him my life savings, and he won't give me my money. I've asked for my money. I've asked for all of these things. He acts like he can't hear me. But what I was about to say was he was married when I met him, right? And his wife lived on the same property. This lady has hated me for 20 years. I don't know why. I've never done anything to her. Actually, if anything, I should probably be mad at her. Why is your husband out here messing with teenagers? It's just crazy to me how women can be. This woman in particular, her name is Barbara Roberts, and she's scum. She's absolute scum of the earth. She is a evil, vile human. Evil, vile human. And all I'm going to say is if my husband ever brought home a 17-year-old stray, no. You can take her to the shelter. Like, that's what's crazy to me. How are you going to be mad at me when I was a kid and hold that against me? This bitch is such a bitch, and it's her fault. It's not my fault. It's your husband's fault. It's your fault. Like, you allowed this to happen. You have zero control in your fucking marriage. This man has owned an escort service for 30 years, but you didn't know what was going on. Your hands are clean. It's just crazy to me how, you know, it's like when a woman catches her husband cheating. You know, the woman gets mad at the woman. No, get mad at your man. Your man was the one straying. He has a choice. He had a choice. He could have walked away, but he didn't. You can't be mad at me, you know. And matter of fact, you know, I'd never smoked marijuana. I had never been to a house party. I had never drank alcohol when I met this guy. I was very, very sheltered, and I'm grateful for that now, because that's where my morals and values come from. It comes from my upbringing. It comes from my religious upbringing, being in the church, and I'm grateful for that now. And I hate that I got led astray for over 15 years. You know, it really sucks, but this is why I'm talking about these things, because this is how one person led me astray, and it fucked up my whole life. You know, it really did. And a lot of it was my own choices. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I am learning to show myself some grace due to the fact that I was so young and in such a vulnerable position. You know, everywhere I went, somebody was messing with me. Somebody was molesting me. Somebody was assaulting me. Everywhere I fucking went. You know, and it started from, you know, probably, I'm just going to throw this out there, that I feel like my biological father was molesting me from infancy until I told. I have no doubt in my mind that he had been doing it for years. He was an alcoholic. And I think that around the time I told was when I was starting to become aware of life. I was six years old. And that's when I started, you know, that's when you like become conscious, right? Like you wake up one morning and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, I'm a human and this is a world. Like, do you know what I mean? Like your consciousness kicks in. I was around that age, and that's when I started becoming aware of what was happening to me. And then it was one person after another. And literally it got to the point in my teen years that I had to run away from home just to save myself. And that's what I did. And I went missing. Everybody thought I'd been killed. My parents thought I'd been kidnapped at work and murdered. And I hate that I did that to my mother. But, you know, I had to get out of there. But I've said this before, I quite potentially met one of the most detrimental people that I could have ever met after leaving home, because that's when I met my abuser. So, you know, I was leaving one abusive situation, trying to escape that, and I literally landed into one of the most perverted, perverse, sick pedophiles that I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, he's absolutely that type of person, you know. And what's so crazy about these weirdos is that they don't even realize they're weird. They think that it's normal. They really do. They think that it is normal and that it's socially acceptable for them to be fucking weirdos. It's crazy to me. Nobody has ever told them, hey, no, that's not normal. You know, I think when I met my abuser, he was going through like a midlife crisis because he was in his late 50s. His marriage was failing. His kids had done left home. His kids barely even visited him. I think his daughters visited once in the past 10 years. His sons maybe visited a handful of times. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot. When you raise children and they don't even come back to visit you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying he did something to his own kids, but what I am saying is that he has a very non-existent relationship with his own daughter. And I know what he done to me, and I know how young he likes them, and I know his propensity for sex. Like, I know how weird he is. And like, if you've ever been in this situation where you've known somebody that was a threat to society like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He literally gives me the ick. The ick makes me nauseous. And in his sick, twisted mind, he truly feels like he did something for me. He truly thinks he did something for me. That's the kicker. He thinks that he gave me whatever, this luxury life. Like, no, bro. No. You literally almost killed me. And I think that you were trying to. I really do. I think that there came a point where he was thinking that I would just die on heroin. And I think he wanted that for me. He wanted me to become a statistic. Because I used to look him in the face and I'd say, one day when I'm a millionaire, and he would laugh. He would laugh. That shit right there, I started saying that when I first got clean 4 years ago. And I would say, one day, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'd be talking about my plans for the future. And he would laugh. You have to pay. People show you who they are. You just have to believe them. They tell you what they think about you too. You just have to listen. So, yeah. Like my boss that showed up when I got a flat tire a few weeks ago, calling me a whore and a, what else, drug addict and blah, 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 blah. That told me that that's what she thinks I'm up to. That's what she just told me how she felt about me and what she thought about me by telling me what she thought that I was doing. People be telling on themselves. Yeah, it's very common. Here's the thing. You know, the escort service that he ran, he the girls absolutely did not want to be doing what they were doing. I've talked to the women that worked for him, and they did not want to be doing what they were doing. They felt like they had no choice. A lot of the time, it was because of financial traps that he had set. There's a thing called a debt trap. I've talked about this before. This is something that we typically see in sex work. What it is, it's where an abuser, a pimp, so to speak, they will give you something like a vehicle, something of value, something that you have to pay back. It's a trap. It's absolutely a trap. It's just like me currently working at the club. I will never make enough money to stand on my own 2 feet. I'll make enough money to support myself, but I'll never make enough money to be financially stable and financially free, right? And that's what a debt trap is. So, and that's how he got me. You know, he gave me a car, and then 6 months later, he's ready to, mess with me sexually. So it was a slow process, but it's a debt trap. So, a lot of the girls that he had working for him, he would buy cars for, and then when they refused to have sex with him, or they refused to go see a customer, or they refused to do whatever, he would take their car and then say that they owed him large sums of money. It's a debt trap. Sometimes they'll, like your pimp, will give you like money and then expect for you to pay it back threefold. It's a debt trap, and it's very common with sex work. And this goes into OnlyFans, it goes into stripping, it goes into prostitution, it goes into all areas of sex work. And it's very common. It's a manipulation tactic that abusers use to get what they want out of a person. And, what young girl would not be drawn to large sums of money? I mean, just think about how easy it would be to con a young teenage girl into working for an escort service. It's not hard. It's not hard. I can promise you that. It's not hard. And, I was such a naive person. I look back and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so naive. All the signs were there. I should have knew from the moment that I met this fucking freak, my abuser, I should have knew from the moment that he was a bad man, but I didn't. Because he was throwing money and cars and blah, blah, blah in my fucking face. And that's what they do. They make it seem like they're your fucking friend, they're going to be your savior, and you just come work for them and everything will be fine. And it's not like that at all. These people, whether it's in the strip club or it's OnlyFans or it's an escort service, these people don't give a fuck about you. They don't. So don't let anybody convince you. If you're a young girl and you're watching this, don't let anybody convince you that you're not worthy of real love and true love. And don't let anybody convince you that this is a smooth way of life, because it's bullshit. It's all fucking fluff. It's all lies. You'll never get anywhere. I'm literally gonna be making over $150,000 a year, and I will walk away with 40 grand, and then 5,000 of that will go to pay fucking taxes. So at the end of the year, I might make $30,000, and all of the people around me are gonna be making millions off of me. It's so fucked up. And that's the same way that an escort service or OnlyFans works. I've met a lot of girls recently at my place of employment, my new club, that does OnlyFans. If that's what you want to do, do it. But I'm telling you right now that putting that out there, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt. So, it is what it is. And, the sad thing is these girls actually think they're doing something when they make $700 a month on OnlyFans. Yeah, that's a short little, that would make my truck payment. Okay, Gucci, that's great. Love that. However, do you know how much time and effort goes into that? That's a full-time fucking job. It is. You have to post every single day. You have to, you have to be with you have to socialize with your regular subscription holders or whatever. I don't know how it works, but I know that there's a business plan behind it, and there's a way to do that. You know what I mean? And you have to post, and you have to engage with your community that is subscribed to you. It's a full-time job. And I'm not saying that no one should do it. I'm just saying that I would advise against it. I would advise against it. And that's just me being a sex worker. And I would advise against it. And that's one of the reasons that I do feel comfortable going back to dance, because I know without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, nobody's taking pictures of me. They don't even allow pictures in the club. If they see you out with a camera phone, you're getting kicked the fuck out. They are coming. The bouncers are going to jack you up and toss your ass out. And I appreciate that. I am grateful for what privacy I do have, you know. And I just feel like none of it's safe. None of it's safe. No line of sex work is safe. You're going to be emotionally, mentally, verbally abused and around toxic shit. Like, if you sign up to do any kind of sex work, you're assuming the risk of being treated like shit. Like, it's just going to happen. Everybody that I've ever met in clubs and outside of clubs, as far as like sex work, were toxic as shit. Toxic as hell. Like, the bottom of the barrel, honey. You're not meeting the most savory fucking people. And I don't know. Also, though, I just don't feel like, you know, people talk about OnlyFans like it's this great thing, blah, 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 blah. Top 1% makes millions of dollars. You know, there's certain people like fucking Bad Baby opened do y'all know who that is? Cash Me Outside girl. Cash Me Outside. How about that? You remember from Dr. Phil? That girl opened up an OnlyFans. Listen to this sick shit. Let me tell you, there's some sick people out here. 24 hours before she turned 18, she started advertising for OnlyFans. She's like, yeah, when I turn 18, I'm going to open an OnlyFans. Do you know that there were dudes waiting for they were counting the minutes down for her to turn 18. Just like they did when Britney Spears, remember when she was coming up, they counted the minutes down to her 18th birthday. Society is fucking sick. Sick. Now, listen, the girl got her bag, though, because Bad Baby, she literally posted on her 18th birthday when she was old enough to actually join OnlyFans and be half naked, literally made millions overnight. Now, that's different. That's completely different than me or you, little Joe Blow, Cindy Lou Who out here, fucking, that's different. I mean, what are the chances of us actually making it big? Slim to none. Slim to fucking none. Okay, let's just be honest. But I understand the allure behind OnlyFans. I understand it. I get it. And I've said this before, that I'm so grateful that OnlyFans was not around when I was coming up, because if it was, you would be able to see my asshole for $2.99. Yeah. I had no shame back in the day, you know. I'm glad that I found it. My shame. I'm glad that I found it, because I used to not give a fuck. And I definitely would have been one of those girls on OnlyFans posting stuff. And that might have led to God knows what. Like worse sex work, like porn. Okay? For those that don't know, back in 2014, I flew to California to interview with porn companies. When I tell you that you know, that I was literally walking that line, and, you know, what did it for me, though, is that the pricing, they don't pay shit for girl-on-guy porn. They don't. They pay $200 per video. You don't get any rights to that video. So that means that they shoot the video, you get paid $200, and you go on about your day. Like, you don't have any rights. You will not see any royalties from that porn. That porn is for the company that filmed it to use and make money off of. They paid you a quick $200 to film the video, but that's all the money you'll see from that porn shoot. And so porn is not very lucrative. It's really not. I mean, it is if you're a porn star, once again, that's different. But for regular me, you know, Kellyanne over here, it's not going to be very lucrative. And, you know, I am glad that I chose not to do that. I really am. I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did when I was in California, and I chose not to do that. And you know who told me that it was a great idea? Take a wild guess. If you guessed my abuser, you would be right. You know, something that he was very good at was stressing me out. He was always talking about money and how I owed him this and how I needed to come up with that. And it was always about money, money, money. And, you know, he had stressed me out so bad that I flew out to California to look into the porn industry because this man was on my ass about money all the time. And that's sad that I allowed someone to push me to the point that I almost become a fucking porn star. But I was really naive, and I thought this person loved me, and I was stupid. And I've learned the hard way, and the reason that I want to talk about these things is because I want someone to learn from my mistakes. Seriously. Seriously. Back in my day, we didn't even have the internet, so I couldn't look these things up for myself. All I had was an encyclopedia, and I'm pretty sure there was nothing about sex work in there. So, you know, I just want young girls to know that they're worth more, okay, than what some pimp can offer them. Worth so much more. Oh, I need vape pods. I still ain't got toothpaste. I'm at Walmart, though. I'm going to go over here and get some more vape pods. Oh, I bought some last night. What am I doing? I bought some last night. Y'all, when I tell y'all that I went into, when I was at Lake Wylie last weekend before last, I went over there. First of all, Lake Wylie sucks. It's 20 minutes outside of Charlotte. It is on the North Carolina-South Carolina line. There's nothing to do out there. It sucked. I was really excited to go out there, but I went into a restaurant to order Mexican food, and they wouldn't serve me because my ID is chipped. So I had to take my passport in, and then she wouldn't take that. And, like, I had that problem, like, 10 times when I was out there. Lake Wylie, if you go out anywhere there, even if you're 90 years old, you need an ID. They're going to card you, even if you're 90. But anyways, I'm doing well this morning. Oh my God, I cannot believe I panicked over that fucking makeup bag, y'all. Like, that is my day in life in a nutshell. It's my day in life in a nutshell. My ADHD is so bad. I probably need Ritalin. I probably need something, but I really don't want to be on any more medications. I'm mad that I'm on the medication that I'm on now. I take one medication. I take Suboxone. It's kept me clean for 4 years. And, I don't want any more prescription costs. You know, I spend anywhere from $300 to $500 a month on Suboxone. It sucks. It sucks, and it's one of my biggest expenses. And now I do have Medicaid. However, I won't be having Medicaid as of a couple of weeks because I have a job now. So they're going to cut that shit off. Yeah. And they've already called me and told me that. So I don't know when exactly. They actually called me and told me that they have mail for me at the social service department because I don't have a mailing address. So they let me mail stuff to social services, which is great. Love that for me. But they told me that I have notifications letters there pertaining to my Medicaid. So I'm thinking that they're going to cut my Medicaid off, which was not surprising. It's not surprising. But I'm going to run. I'm praying for y'all, and y'all pray for me because God knows I need it. And I hope everybody has a really great weekend. I'm probably going to relax this weekend. I work Monday through Friday now at my dancing position, Monday through Friday. And then I'm going to have the weekends to myself. So this is nice. Maybe I can, like, go on a date. Maybe I can, I don't know. I'm definitely going to go to the river. I need to get my AC fixed. I'm going to do that this afternoon. But I'm just going to enjoy myself. I definitely need to do laundry. I definitely need to organize this fucking truck. Yeah, go to my storage unit and organize. But I hope everybody stays cool today. Drink lots of water. It's going to be hot as hell. My head's pounding. So I'm going to take an Excedrin and try to get my day going. I normally have coffee, but I don't feel like coffee this morning, so I'm going to take an Excedrin. These things are godsend. I used to live off of these. If you're a woman in your 30s and you're dealing with lack of energy, try an Excedrin. It's got caffeine in it. Godsend. But y'all be safe. Stay strong. Stay hydrated. Be strong. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all and pray for me because God knows I need it. I'll see y'all later. Bye.